Hey everyone! Recently I've been diving into some interesting Switch games, and I thought I'd share my experiences while giving you a clear picture of what these games actually are. Let's talk about what I've found. And if you like this video, feel free to hit that subscribe button. Fairy Tail 2 is a turn-based RPG that continues where the first game left off. For those who don't know, it's based on the popular anime series about wizards who join guilds to take on various missions. This sequel introduces a new guild management system where you run your own magical headquarters. You'll spend time accepting jobs, upgrading facilities, and developing relationships between guild members. The combat system now includes team attacks where you can chain up to 4 characters' abilities together. I have noticed it runs at a solid 30 FPS most of the time, though some of the more spectacular magic attacks can cause the frame rate to dip. Dragon Quest III HD2D Remake brings the influential 1988 NES RPG into the modern era. The original was groundbreaking for introducing a class change system, where party members could switch jobs to learn different abilities. This remake preserves that core mechanic while using the same visual style as Octopath Traveler, mixing pixel art characters with high-resolution environments. They've added quality-of-life features like the ability to save anywhere and faster battle speeds. The combat is still traditional turn-based, but there's surprising depth in how different character classes can work together. I found myself spending hours experimenting with party compositions. Turns out having a warrior learn some martial artist skills creates some really interesting combinations.
Surely one such as you will be able to deliver us from the menace of the Archfiend.
You must gather the orbs and take them to the shrine of the Everbird.
Use my blades.
Fantasian Neo Dimension is a Nintendo Switch exclusive that expands on the original mobile RPG. The game stands out because every environment is actually a physical diorama that was photographed and digitized, over 150 of them. You can really notice the craftsmanship when the camera sweeps through these handmade sets. The battle system uses something called the Dimension, which lets you postpone random encounters and then fight multiple battles at once. It's a clever way to handle random encounters that I wish more RPGs would adopt. This version adds new areas and story content not found in the original release.
Activating defense system.
Symphonia is a fresh take on the RPG genre where rhythm plays a key role in combat. The premise is that music literally affects the game's world, changing weather, moving platforms, and powering magical abilities. During battles, you time your attacks and defenses to the beat of the music. The system takes some getting used to. I kept missing the timing on boss fights at first, but it creates this unique flow once you get into it. There's about 30 hours of main story content, with optional challenges that really test your rhythm game skills. NAIAD takes a different approach to gaming entirely. It's an exploration game where you control a water spirit, discovering connections between nature and human civilization. There's no combat or fail states. Instead, you solve environmental puzzles and interact with aquatic life. The game uses the Switch's gyro controls for movement, which feels natural for swimming. Each area takes about 45 minutes to explore thoroughly, making it perfect for shorter gaming sessions. While exploring, you'll gradually uncover the story through environmental details rather than traditional cutscenes. Nine Souls blends Taiwanese mythology with challenging combat mechanics. The game's set in a world where ancient guardians protect mysterious technology, mixing traditional Asian architecture with sci-fi elements. The combat system focuses on precise timing for deflections and counterattacks. It definitely takes practice to master. There's a main story that runs about 15 to 20 hours with additional challenges and secrets that can add another 10 hours if you want to find everything. The world is interconnected, with shortcuts and alternate paths opening up as you gain new abilities. Romancing Saga 2, Revenge of the Seven, continues the series' trademark approach to non-linear storytelling. Like other Saga games, it features a unique take on character progression. Instead of traditional leveling, characters spark new abilities during battle based on their actions. The game spans multiple generations, with your choices affecting future rulers and their abilities. Each weapon type has distinct battle formations and combo patterns, creating different gameplay styles. A typical playthrough takes about 25 to 30 hours, but the multiple paths and scenarios mean you can easily spend twice that exploring different choices. I particularly enjoyed how each new generation inherits traits from previous rulers, making every playthrough feel different.
Permanently removed from the game. Try using different weapon types and spells to find out what is most effective on your foes.
The Legend of Zelda: Echoes of Wisdom brings back the traditional dungeon structure with a new twist. The game introduces the Echo ability, which lets you create temporary copies of objects and enemies to solve puzzles and aid in combat. There are 8 main dungeons, each taking about 1 to 2 hours to complete, plus numerous smaller shrines scattered throughout the world. The weather system actively affects gameplay. Rain makes climbing challenging, but conducts electricity for puzzles. Snow slows movement, but preserves certain tracks needed for solving mysteries. During my playthrough, I found that mastering the Echo ability opens up creative solutions that the developers might not have even intended. The Plucky Squire is an action-adventure game that seamlessly switches between 2D and 3D perspectives. You play as Jod, a storybook character who discovers he can jump between the pages of his book and the physical world around it. The game takes about 12 to 15 hours to complete, with each chapter introducing new mechanics that combine both perspectives. While in the book, you're playing in classic 2D style, but step out and everything becomes fully 3D. The puzzles cleverly use this dimension shifting. Sometimes you need to alter the 2D world to affect the 3D space, or vice versa.
Battling baddies, solving puzzles, and engaging in mini-games. But when Humgrum casts Jot out of the book and onto the desk,
Darkest Dungeon 2 reimagines the original's psychological horror RPG format as a roguelike road trip. Each run takes about 4 to 6 hours as you guide a wagon through 5 regions, managing your hero's stress and relationships along the way. The game features 12 different character classes, each with unique abilities and quirks. The relationship system adds another layer of complexity. Heroes can form positive or negative bonds during a run, affecting their combat performance. Unlike the first game's focus on managing a static hamlet, you're constantly moving forward, making choices at crossroads that affect your journey's difficulty and rewards.
Or be consumed by them.
Luigi's Mansion 2 HD revamps the 3DS original with updated visuals and refined mechanics. The game features 5 distinct mansions, each with its own theme and ghost types. A first playthrough takes about 12 to 15 hours, with additional time needed to find all the hidden gems and boos. The ghost-catching mechanics now utilize HD rumble, making the vacuum feel more responsive. The multiplayer Scream Park mode supports up to 4 players locally, with various competitive minigames. While exploring, I noticed the improved lighting engine really enhances the spooky atmosphere. Shadows now react dynamically to Luigi's flashlight. Paper Mario: The Thousand-Year Door Remake preserves the unique charm of the 2004 original while modernizing its systems. The turn-based combat takes place on a theater stage, where timing your attacks and playing to the crowd can boost your performance. There's about 25 to 30 hours of main story content, filled with the series' characteristic humor and fourth-wall breaking moments. The badge system, which lets you customize Mario's abilities, has been streamlined with better organization and filtering options. Each chapter of the story has its own distinct theme and gameplay twists. One moment you're solving a murder mystery on a train, the next you're competing in a fighting tournament. Hey, let me know what you think about these games. Maybe you've played some and have a different take, or maybe something here caught your eye. Drop a comment. Let's chat about it. See you in the next one.